Hello everyone, this is Alfaqurface with another video ready to absolutely blow your mind. Today we are going to Askreddit for some blessed questions. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you have a big ding dong, then like and subscribe. Enjoy, you sexy animal. r/Askreddit. What secret do you keep from your family? That my mum scares me a lot at night when she drinks AMD. That keeps me up a lot. I had a suicide pact with my cousin. He wasn't all there in the head and lived with his parents, my uncle and his wife. He would babysit me when I was 9 to 11 y/o. I think my uncle thought it would help him focus if he had to watch a kid during the summer. Over the last year that he watched me, he told me about how cruel the world was and how I would be no different because it runs in the family and that most of the males have some kind of mental issue. True for most of the males on my mother's side of the family. By the last month we would basically spend the days crying or talking about how terrible things are. At 11 he had me convinced that the world was going to hate me. So when he brought up taking the easy way out, before I would have to go through it, I agreed with him. He said we would do it the day after Christmas, so we could have one last good memory with the family. I ended up getting so sick I was in the hospital from mid-December through the end of January. When I got out of the hospital my family said I couldn't see my cousin anymore and that a neighbor would take care of me during the summers. I thought he ran away until my aunt let it slip that he shot himself in the backyard with my uncle's shotgun. Blew bits of his head onto the roof of the house. What was insane was that when I found out I cried because he went without me and I was too scared to find another way to die. I felt like I had betrayed him by getting sick and missing our day. After about a year and going through ups and downs I started to realize how great things were for me without having my cousin mentally dragging me down for a couple months every year. I got a girlfriend and good grades. I even moved to a whole new city. To this day I regret not telling the family before it happened, but back then I expected to go too, so I didn't see it as a big deal. Now it would do nothing but hurt everyone. It's been over 10 years now and not a soul knows. It just confuses me how much he talked to a kid about how terrible the world was until the kid was ready to die. Honestly, I'm sure I would have gone through with it had I gone to his house for Christmas. God, I was stupid. That as soon as my mother dies I will move to the other side of the country to start over and disappear. Father and brother can go f themselves. Edit. Since I've already got a couple nice messages in my inbox, there are no children involved. I'm single and I have no kids. When I was 12 or 13 my mom was one of those if you lock a door in my house you lose your door moms. We had no bedroom doors and no bathroom door. During this period her and my dad let a friend of his live with us. His name was Rob. While my mom was at work and my dad was probably gone off some pills and unconscious he came into my bedroom and raped me. I tried to tell my mom and she told me to quit lying. What would a grown man want with me? I don't know how long after that it was that my dad caught her sucking his dick. I only told her, and I only told her once. It would kill my nana to know and wreck my dad who hasn't been the best dad but he's tried. After a recent fight with her I've started having nightmares about it. They're so realistic I can smell the old Budweiser on his breath. This is the first time I've admitted what happened out loud. My family have a rough background, a lot of violence and substance use problems. I left home at 16, haven't spoken to them since, and after 7 years of university have a pretty high paying job. I have to constantly ask websites to take down my full name, because if my family found out, I'd be swamped with messages asking for money that would go straight to alcohol and ice. They already have an idea after I didn't catch a result fast enough, so it doesn't really matter, and I loosened up my social media. But I still hide my income. This is kinda really stupid, but I hide my online friendships cause they're kinda closed-minded, and A, don't believe that you should talk to people you don't know. B, internet bad. And C, if you talk to a guy online, it must be a sexual thing. It's a bird. It's a plane. Oh no, it's Anthony Davis's unibrow. God, he's ugly. Hey ladies, I'm Daniel, and oh boy do I have something to show you. Anyways, back to the answers. How to contact me. I quit my job with the cable company a year earlier than I told them. The pressure and stress from that job became overwhelming, and it was right around the time my grandmother died, and I legit dropped everything and worked at a car dealership for a year before I got my insurance licenses. How much I struggle with my life, mainly with anxiety, and how I struggle to recognize my emotions and to communicate them, or to handle them in general. That most days I'm too broke to even buy my son diapers. I often have to choose between diapers and baby wipes, and something I need for myself like shampoo or underwear. They also don't know that I have severe depression and that I'm suicidal. The only reason I'm still alive is for my son. No one will love him or take care of him better than me, and I will not leave him to suffer through life like I did because my mom bailed on me. I have a responsibility towards him, and I don't care if I never buy myself anything ever again. He's my baby and I will not fail him like my parents failed me. I tried to hang myself with one of my school ties when I was 15 years old. Thankfully the hook holding the noose on the door snapped, otherwise I might not have been here to write this story. Thankfully life got much better after that. I still haven't told anybody to this day, not even my parents or girlfriend. Whilst life isn't perfect right now, trying to find a job in the current market after graduating last year, at 22 years old my life is much better than it was when I was 15. Overall my life is so much better. I'm surrounded with a great support network, and I thank myself every day that my suicide attempt failed. I'm no longer a virgin. Not that my mom cares, but the way I lost my virginity was really bad, and I know I'll disappoint her if she knew, even if I feel upset about it. Also, all the names of my social media accounts. No way in hell my fam gets those. The mental illness. I don't feel like getting murdered, so I'd rather not tell anyone. I have a Reddit account. They must not know. I was raped 3x by the time I turned 18. As a guy it's hard to tell them that my dog saved my life. When I was 14 I was pretty depressed, and after a particularly difficult day at school, I was not exactly popular. I grabbed some rope from my garage and planned on hanging myself. I started getting it set up, but my dog came running in and wanted to play tug of war with the rope. If he didn't do that, I wouldn't be here today. It's hard for me to type this because I'm putting him down in a few minutes. He has been living in pain for a long time and has reached the end of his life. I'm crying really fucking hard right now, but I know it's the right thing to do. I got molested when I was 8, and my parents know it happened, but I still refuse to tell them where it happened. I'm from a small town, and there might be a witch hunt. Plus, I honestly never saw the person, so there's no point to bringing it up. It happened at a sleepover, so there's only so many people that could have done it, but ultimately I'd just probably get called a liar again. Nice try, mom. I'm still not telling you what happened yesterday. That my husband and I go to nudist swinger resorts for fun. At least, we used to, before the pandemic. Hopefully we will again someday. Family doesn't need to know. I think my mother would have a heart attack. Edit. So some people have been asking. I'm 53F. Husband is 70 meters. We've been going about 15 years. We've been to Hido in Jamaica, Sea Mountain in California, rooftop resort in Florida, and Live Oak Resort in Texas. And a place in Mexico I forget, Dreamers or something like that. Live Oak is our favorite. Extensive beautiful grounds, so lots of walking around room, gives it a nice mix of peaceful and erotic vibe. Note, big difference between lifestyle friendly nudist places and family friendly ones. I've never been to a family friendly one. I have no interest in being around kids when I'm naked. First time visiting I was nervous as hell, but everybody tends to be super friendly at these kinds of places. My husband and I don't swing, we just like being naked and playing with each other and watching others. It's a sexy environment with plenty of booze and smiles and laughter, and generally, plenty of respect and hands off when you say you're not interested. It's really good for the self-esteem too, to see bodies that are not perfect, but still getting laid. My visits have made me feel infinitely better and more confident about my imperfect body. Another edit, most people at these places are middle-aged, 35ish and older. Younger people are welcome, but as a general rule, and this is just my personal opinion, I think a lot of people are too insecure to go naked in public when they're younger. I certainly could never have done it when I was younger. It just takes getting to a certain place in your life where you are more at peace with yourself and less worried about impressing other people. Some places require couples only, others welcome singles. Well, I sure as hell don't hope that you run into family there. I dropped out of college. It was never ending, and I was exhausted. They forced me into graphic design, and while I don't mind it, I'd prefer to never do it professionally. I'm more of a freelancer. They wanted their only kid to go to college and graduate, and I couldn't even give them that. I'm mom's favorite. They'll never know how depressed I really am, because I cannot and do not want to burden them. They are the best thing in my world, and do make it better. They are responsible for what joy I do have. I watch my kids closely. Mental issues I'll deal with at the root and start if they exhibit themselves. My wife knows about my struggles, just not how present they are, so it's not a complete secret. But it's the one thing I won't tell them. Where to begin? My mom was f***ing my dad's best friend right before dad's best friend started dating my cousin. When my mom found out they were dating, she tried to break them up. When they got married, my mom refused to allow my little sister or I to be in the wedding. My cousin asked, or go to it. My dad was suicidal. I took a gun out of his mouth. My mom stole $54,000 from me after my dad died. She used it to buy herself clothes and fly back and forth to Boston to cheat on my stepdad. I paid for my little sister's class trip. My grandmother explicitly wrote my sister, brother, and I out of her will. My husband and I got married a year before our actual wedding. I'm about to sue my aunt for my dad's house. Very long story there. Think that about covers it. My religion, or rather, the lack thereof. When I was a kid, I remember seeing my mom cry because her friend's son came out as an atheist as she imagined the horror of knowing your kid is going to hell. I'm an adult, so it's not like I can get in trouble if my parents find out, but I don't want to put them through that. I don't believe my eternal soul will rot in hell forever. Why should they? Well, I think that's enough for that thread. If you like this video, please subscribe and send this to your own parents. This is Alfaqurface saying goodbye, and as always, I love you 3.